So what's going on, guys? It's DrChiz here. Yep, haven't uploaded in 4 months, but forget that. I'm talking to the PKA subreddit right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put some links in the description below. So what this video is going to be is two parts, really. I'm going to do a section where I talk about the events that have unfolded within the past 72 to 96 hours, something like that, since like Friday to now, about Wings of Redemption and the PKA survival trip. And then I'm going to do, I should say before that, I've decided to switch it up. I'm going to do the Q&A section beforehand, which is going to be unbiased unless you ask for my opinion in your question. And then I'll do my little segment at the end there because I just need to get some stuff off my chest. And that's the reason I intended to do this video. But then you guys had a billion questions. So I'm like, I got to answer all these questions. I promised I would, and I'm going to do it now. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to jump right into it. And I'm going to try to minimize the cuts. And this is probably going to be long. No need to stare at this mug. No need at all. You can tell this is a very serious video. I'm not wearing my hat. I don't think any videos of me without my hat except taking it off occasionally once during PK. That's how you know. Short hair, spiked it in the front, very serious. So the first question comes in from Gurup. What do you think about Wings talking? How much Kyle and Woody make? Do you think Wings needs a professional help of some sort? Sorry for bad English. No problem. I got the gist of it. So what do I think about Wings talking about Kyle and Woody making money? I think a lot of what he said is public knowledge, that they've announced things on PKA and live streams and Twitter and stuff like that, or in YouTube videos. Not that big a deal on that part, but I don't think it needs to be brought up, period. So the reason he did bring it up in his stream and in his response video to his actions was because, you know, he was saying he made so little money that he can just pay his bills currently right now. It doesn't have extra spending money to go blow on this trip. And then said, you know, they make such and such amounts and stuff like that. But there's no need to add that part. You don't need to compare yourself to the other two people involved. You just simply say, I don't have enough money to fund this extracurricular outdoors thing. It's not in my budget, and I can't do it. A decision like that could have been made several weeks beforehand, though. It's not like the prices of things snuck up on them. The list was made 3 weeks ago, I think. So that's where it stands. Not a big deal, the things he said, as long as they were all true. I think some things, like so-and-so makes $40,000 a week, incorrect. As long as the facts are right and it's been public knowledge, not shared, I don't care. I just feel it unnecessary to bring it up in the first place. You know, you don't need to do that. You just go, you know, I just don't have the money, bro. Can't go. Sorry. And people are understanding, you know. People understand if someone doesn't have the finances to go do something that is outside their expenses. Do I think Wings needs professional help of some sort? Yes. He is always depressed, it seems. And all of the pep talks that the subreddit, his YouTube fans, his closest friends give him appear to do nothing, or he just doesn't listen. So yes, for numerous reasons, he needs to see a psychologist or a shrink or just someone to talk to, and he's outright refused that idea every time it's ever been brought up. So there's no point. Yes, I do, but that's that. Mr. Cervix Pounder, great name. Why would Jordy call you a backstabber? That is only friends with people when you can get something out of them. Excuse me. It was wrong of him to say something like that. For those that don't know, I'll link it in the thing, but Wings said Monday morning in his Final Fantasy live stream that I am a backstabber and basically use people to get things out of them. Yeah, so I'll talk about that later more during my little rant session, but he called me that because he was upset. Sunday night when the news had dropped via Kyle's subreddit post that Wings was not going to be showing up, I made my own comment in there that I thought what he did was shitty, because it was. He canceled last minute. I don't care if they're strangers. If you made plans with people several weeks in advance, you owe them the courtesy. Really shitty that you made up your mind on a Saturday and didn't tell them until they reached out to you. That's just an overall shitty thing. That doesn't mean I hate Wings. That doesn't mean I'm unfriending Wings by that post. But he took that, interpreted it, and then apparently we haven't been friends in forever, so he called me a backstabber that tries to get things out of people. which totally untrue. Never used wings, never used any of the PKA guys. Again, I think I've known Lefty. Actually, technically, I met Wings before Lefty. I met Wings in probably 2010 fall, I think, if not 2011 first quarter, and then Lefty that summer during Commentator March Madness. So he said that because he was lashing out at my comments, which, whatever. I mean, I'll talk about that more in depth and how I feel about it, but that answers your question. I have no history of backstabbing. Loyalty is something I do really well with my friends, my true friends, not people that say those type of things. VJ Jono says, do you think this whole thing will blow over, or do you think there are going to be repercussions once Woody and Kyle get back to civilization? Not the game. And do you think it should affect Wings' position on the show? And he asks, should it and will it? I think... This is my opinion again. He asked my opinion. So first question, do you think this whole thing will blow over? Yeah, everything blows over with time for the most part, unless you keep bringing it back up, like the 1v1 with Syndicate thing. If you keep throwing life into it, it won't blow over. It'll just cause more drama. Do I think it will affect his position on the show? Not really. Which is weird. I mean, he basically said he's not friends with any of them, maybe with the exception of Lefty, and they're not friends with any of him with the exception of maybe Lefty. That's basically what he said. But I don't think it'll affect the show. I think they'll just look at it like a job. Like, you're not going to love every coworker. That's what he is right now. Just to clock in, 4 hours Friday, do your shift, you're done. So I don't think it will. I think it should, though, because you really shouldn't be doing a podcast with people you don't get along with and you don't like. I don't think that's a good environment to put on any kind of performance in. You should pretty much like those people. I don't care how many years. And that's the thing. It's been so many years they've been doing the show, and so many years they've known each other, like 5 years, that it's just like, Wings. Nothing's going to happen. I really don't think anything's going to happen to him on the show. Do I think it should? Yeah, because you can only... I said this on the subreddit the night that before he said the things he did about me. You can only fuck people in the ass so many times until they're going to get mad and turn around. And that's basically where he is. He's fucked over everyone so many times. The fans, PKA guys, everyone you can name, he's insulted on some level. And everybody just forgives and forgets. So I don't think anything's going to happen to him. The Special 96 asked, do you think Kyle could have handled the matter in a more professional manner? Redundant. No, that's not redundant. And kept his disappointment held back and not spark these 24 hours of direct hatred towards Wings. Sure, he could have. Anyone could have. Just don't reply. Or don't post anything, period. No one would have known. I mean, I already knew he wasn't going, but no one in the public would have known until they saw Wings live stream, which that would have been a clear indication. There's no internet out there. But this goes back to what I just said previously. If you fuck somebody long enough, they're gonna... Not fuck somebody long. If you rape somebody long enough, they're gonna get mad. Actually, not a good analogy to think about it. Rape, they're gonna get mad regardless because it's rape. But you get the point. Kyle's been fucked over by Wings so many times, so many years. The last one was the boot camp. So I don't blame him for snapping the way he did. He's done. He put it out there in the public so everyone knows the relationship status because... You know, he's being transparent, and he also had to let loose. So I don't blame him for doing that. I commend him for doing that. You guys, I think you guys are owed some right to know where the hosts stand with one another. Are you cool that they all don't like a particular host? Maybe, but don't you think that could also detriment the show in some way? I'm just putting these questions out to you. Fuck shit. Sorry. Fuck shit. What do you think of the posts and comments saying they want you or Merca to replace Wings? And similar question, Con Fichet asks, so Chiz, if Wings is kicked off / leaves PKA, are you next in line to grab the 4th spot? My main question is, where to for PKA now? I would honestly love to see you on there. Personally, I think Wings' time on PKA and YouTube has come. What are your thoughts? To answer both of them, they're lovely and generous to see. Like, it's super cool that me and Merca are like the top 2 host running spots, if you will. That's cool because that just shows that I'm an entertaining person enough and get along with the guys that I could fill that spot. That's cool for me to just hear and read from you guys. So I really appreciate all the nice things you're saying. I can't thank you enough. That alone is a great honor. I don't need to get on the show, and I'm not requesting to be on the show. I'll never do that. Just like I'll never ask to be a guest on an episode. That's not the kind of person I am. If some people think that's why I'm doing this, it's not. I wanted to make this just a vent, and then I'm like, fuck it. What are some things people don't know or would like clarification on? So what do I think of it? I think it's great. I mean, it's nice. You know, it's nice. You're basically complimenting me. Am I next in line to grab the 4th spot? That is up to the other 3 hosts if that should ever happen. Personally, I don't think Wings is going anywhere. And some would say, well, if he's not going anywhere after this and the boot camp and everything else, when will he go? I honestly don't know. If that's not what he called, he'd have been gone a long time ago, because that's not cool how you condone yourself, especially in public, let alone behind closed doors. So am I in the next to take the 4th spot? I don't know. Up to those 3 other guys. They do what they want. They put Merc on. They put me on. I don't care. Personally, I don't think that's ever going to come. Like, I don't think they're getting rid of Wings. I really don't. But should it ever be offered, I would accept it. Or if they get Merca, awesome. Merc is a great dude. So that's that. So don't freak out. Giggity Goo asked, thanks for doing this, Chiz. Could you give me a bit more background and context to what you were saying on the subreddit about Wings coming to you and chatting to you on Skype, quote, bitching and moaning, as you put it? It seems strange that he claims to have an intense disliking of you, yet talk to you about his problems. Excuse me. Yes, so when I found out, there was another quote by Wings, something along the lines of, the reason Chiz doesn't like me is because I told him how I felt about him. Once again, another lie. He's never told me anything in the slightest that he disliked me at any point in his life. Known the dude since 2010, been on PKA several times, done videos with him, had him on our podcast, talked to him on Skype, played games with him. That's how I met him, was through playing COD. He's never indicated that whatsoever. The last time I talked to Wings was on whatever the most recent PKA I was on that was shown in the public, not 152. Rest in peace, 152. That was a great episode. I wouldn't have talked to him anyway. He wasn't there for 152. But yeah, that's the thing. And my point of bringing that up was that he is a taker. He called me a backstabbing bad friend, which I've never done anything like that to him or anyone for the matter. But the only time he'd ever hit me up on Skype was to bitch and moan, complain about his views, his subs, and I'd listen. And Lefty also gets this and would give advice, and it just, like on PK, goes in one ear and out the other. That's it. Never did he just want to play a game or just want to do it. So that was I kind of retaliated when I said that, because those are how our conversations on Skype went. He would come to me bitching and moaning or complaining or just depressed, and I'd pep him up, be like, let's do this, some suggestions, in one ear, out the other. But I never went to him with any problems. And if I did, I don't think he'd listen. He probably wouldn't respond. He'd be busy or something. So that's what that is. Until yesterday, Monday, we were fine. Like, that's why he said, the reason Chiz doesn't like me, I've never said I didn't like him until after the things he said, is because I told him how I felt about him. Never has he done that. And if he didn't like me, I don't think I'd have been on PKA all the most recent times. Maybe, who's to say, the other 3 hosts like me, but, they have that rule. If one person doesn't get along, they don't let that person back on. So it's just another lie. It's just, he was mad at what I said, and that came off as we were never friends, and I'm a backstabbing asshole. So that's the deal on Wings and us privately. Excuse me. Need something to drink. Brad1337, also known as Leet, says, if Jordy apologizes in the near future, how will it change yours, Woody's, Kyle's, and Lefty's decision on what his future with PK will be? Well, I have no stake in what his future on PK will be. My opinion, you've heard. I think he'll stay there. Excuse me. I think he'll stay on PK. I don't know what it would take to get him thrown off, and he'll never leave. But I don't know where the other hosts stand right now. Like, Kyle and Woody are gone. Lefty is just upset that Wings keeps generalizing all of PKA guys and talking shit on all of them, because that includes Lefty, newsflash. But I think he'll stay. Whether he apologizes or not, he'll stay. Newsflash, Wings doesn't apologize. So that scenario would never happen. He doesn't apologize. It's one of his laurels he stands on. Never apologize, no matter how wrong you are. Dark Samus 125 says, do you think this will severely impact Woody and Kyle's relationship with Wings? How does it impact your friendship with Wings? Love you, Chiz. Of course it's going to impact everyone's relationships. I think Woody, I guess either Wings said it or Woody did. I think Wings did in a stream. Like, he said, Woody and I have never been friends since such and such scenario, so there's that out. That doesn't really matter. Kyle, you saw his subreddit post. That's where they stand. He wouldn't make that if he wasn't serious. So that's where they stand. And I believe it. I totally believe it. He'll work with him on PKA. That's it, you know. And I've already told you, we don't have a friendship anymore. We're done. After you make up those lies and say those things without thinking, which is something you do and you're happy about, we're not cool anymore. Like, I'm not like them. I'm not like the rest of the PKA guys. You don't get to be my friend and then shit talk me and stir up all these lies. No, that's cool. You did that. I'm not cool with it. I've written you out. Sorry, Wings. That's it. That's how our friendship is. It's not existent anymore. He did that with his lies. So be it. That's where it stands. I Rage Bridge. Do you think this whole thing has been blown way out of proportion? And do you think that many of the hateful comments towards Wings are a step too far? Thanks. Are the hateful comments a step too far? Depends. If you're telling him to kill himself or you're fucking with his real life, yes, you should never do that, especially somebody as mentally unstable as Wings. That is completely wrong. I also think just straight up hating on him and cursing at him and name calling isn't going to do anyone any good, and also not cool. Now, if you say he's a shitty friend or a toxic friend or that's not cool, bro, that makes you look like an asshole, so be it, because guess what? The actions reflect those type of remarks. Do I think it's been blown way out of proportion? No, I think he blew it out of proportion himself. The first problem was that he bitched out last minute. And I will say bitched out because that's exactly what he did. Bitched out last second, leaving his friends hanging, even though he had made up his mind 24 hours prior to it. Maybe even 48, because on PKA, or on the day of PKA after, he's like, you know, I was kind of feeling like crap afterwards. Kind of made up my mind then. That transition set whole thing. But then he said all the shit he did on his streams and made everything worse. And I think the people are reacting appropriately to it. I see nothing wrong with calling Wings out on his bullshit. It needs to be done more, if anything. The problem is Wings gets into all of this hot water. He won't get thrown off the show. But he gets into all of this hot water. People unsub. People get mad. He catches shit for a while. He'll make a post about how he's losing 1.2 pounds and how he's depressed, and he'll get everybody's sympathy. It's what he does. You should have seen it. He made a Facebook post saying something. Or it was the night he like banned everyone on Twitch, which, good job. Oh, I fucking hit the mic again. Good job doing that, banning all those people. How dare you ask questions in a Twitch stream? Ban all those people. Next day, I'm losing 1.2 pounds. Super supportive, subreddit, everything, writing inspirational speeches, all of that. No, that's what happens. He does some heinous shit, throws a little good on it, or sympathy card, like I'm depressed, I've been depressed for years, and everybody forgets. So I think, no, it's been blown in appropriate proportion. If anything, the people that are still backing him, I think, aren't really thinking about the issue. I mean, it's fine if you don't want to catch a lot of hate, but don't say anything he's done is good. He's shit-talked everyone who has ever supported him, the people he works with, his supposed friends, which he's clearly stated are not his friends. He said he has no YouTube friends. It's cutthroat. His words. You know, I think it's fine. No, let it come. He needs to catch that, because you watch, he'll make a video or tweet or Facebook post, and this shit will go away, at least after next week, once PK gets out of the way. Yes, I talk with my hands a lot. Get parched. Crazy _ potato says, do you think that Woody and Kyle have been kind of mean to Wings in the last couple of PKs? Now, I think people are being too sensitive, because this is like the only leg people have to stand on to defend Wings. Like, and that's what Wings also said in his video, which I'll get to with my rant part, was that he's catching too much shit, and the recent couple of PKAs hurt his self-esteem, doesn't want to go. I'm going to answer this unbiasedly. I don't think they're being mean. No one has said you're a fat piece of shit or fuck you, you're going to die. Anything. They laugh at him when he says there's a 30%. When he stares at the camera good and long and says there's a 30% chance of me dying on this trip. Guess what? You're getting laughed at because that is a ridiculous claim. You know, if you say something ridiculous, they reciprocate with laughing. If they poke fun, I don't see anything wrong with it. Guys always poke fun at one another. Me and someone else have an Australian friend. We call him a kangaroo humper and make tons of jokes like that. The racist lefty thing. Fuck couple of weeks of PKA. Lefty got racist lefty jokes thrown at him maybe 30 times an episode for like months and just took it on the chin and embraced it. And now he makes better racist lefty jokes than the other hosts do. You know, if you're one to let these types of things hurt you, how are you in YouTube? Like, the things they're saying are funny and not to be taken. These are supposed to be your friends too. But if you're looking at them and you've admitted they're not your friends, then I can see why it's hurtful, and to which this whole thing doesn't work. You can't do a podcast and joke in a mean kind of way if not everyone's friends. I can see how that would hurt him. Something needs to be made. Either be friends or get out, because it just doesn't. You lose something there when you lose that level of joking around and you don't laugh at yourself. You can't laugh at yourself about if someone makes a really good joke about me and they're my friend, I'm probably gonna laugh. Even if they're not my friend, I'll probably laugh. But if it's just mean and outright, like you're a fat piece of shit, go kill yourself, that's not funny. And none of them have said that. So the only defense the people that are still backing Wings is that, don't you think they've been mean the past couple of PKs? Honestly, I don't. I really don't. And I don't know why Woody and Kyle keep getting lumped into it. Lefty throws in jokes in there as well, and he apologizes after it. And Wings goes, "Yeah, real funny," or he's really depressed. I can see it's hurting him, but it shouldn't. It should. They're supposed to be friends. Now, after finding out after that PK that apparently no one is friends except Lefty, Kyle, and Woody, I can see why that would hurt him, and I stand by my point. You shouldn't be doing a podcast together then. The chemistry isn't there. It doesn't work. If I can't crack a joke at you and you're going to get butthurt about it, this doesn't work. So no, I don't think they were too mean on him. I think he took it that way because he's not looking at them as his friends. That's how I feel. Me and Lefty give each other shit all the time, you know? Yeah, whatever. Excuse me. Curtis Myers 1. What do you think of Wing still blaming Syndicate for his channel's channel's downfall? I think he means for his. What do you think of Wing still blaming Syndicate for his channel's downfall? I think it's juvenile and immature, and the man isn't acting his own age, because everyone on PKA, everyone in the subreddit, no one but the man he looks at in the mirror sees him in the right. It's not Syndicate's fault. You challenged the 1v1. You set up the terms, COD 4, BOG, and you lost. There's no one to blame but you. Okay? That's the fact. And no one gives a fuck that you lost, and you'll never, if you're watching, you'll never accept that no one gives a shit that you lost a 1v1. It's the fact that you reacted like a 13-year-old afterwards with bribery, with shitting on your friends, which you excel at. Even, 2 years later, you're still on par doing it. And being a raging asshole and overreacting and breaking shit. That is what was the downfall of your channel right there. That. But the question, what do I think of it? I just think it's juvenile. I think it's easier for him to blame all of the outside forces than look at himself in the mirror and say, you fucked up. You fucked up. You have no one to blame but yourself. That's what I think about the issue. It's just silly. Ooh, Brad1337 here again says, would you have gone on the PK survival trip if given some time and preparation? I don't know why I was doing that right there. But yeah, I would have gone. I totally would have. Hold on a second. Wait. I bought a SOG hand axe and a flint and steel, and I'm not even going. Oh, cool. Whoa, whoa. I bought these just this is 25. Well, I bought this because I needed an add-on item, so I'm like, oh, $25 hand axe, might as well get that as well. But I bought those just from listening to the show and think maybe I'll do this with somebody else someday. If they had asked, I'd have gone in a heartbeat. Yeah, I totally would have gone. They could have asked me Friday, and I would have booked a plane to go. Yeah, as long as you give me enough airtime to get there, since I'm in California, I'd have gone. It looked funny as shit. Why would you not go? Oh, right. Okay. JC Jigs 4W says, do you want something to do with wings anymore? Is it completely over now? Nope. Not a damn thing. It's not a huge loss out of my life, to be honest with you. No, once I write you out, we're done. This is the last video I'll mention. I might mention him, like if I ever do a recap on my history of YouTube. Or I might mention him, but I'm not his friend anymore. I'm never going to be his friend anymore. I write you out, I'm done. None of this 17 strikes and then you're out. You are an asshole casserole. And if you have no regard for me or can't pull me aside like you pretended to in your lies, then we're done. Simple as that. Good on you. Wish you the best. DK Juggernaut. Not a drama-related question, but if Woody and Kyle did the trip from Florida to the Bahamas that Woody posted about, would you join? Once again, yes. If I'm asked to do anything, I will go. I'm all about life experiences and adventure, and I can do it. I'm pretty 99.5% positive that was a joke post, and after the last PKA, Kyle said it's not seaworthy anyway, but if asked, yeah, I go. Why not? That sounds awesome. So does the survival trip. It sounds awesome. And a lot of you agree with me. It sounds awesome. You would fucking pay your own airfare and way to get there, and you pay for your own tools if you couldn't share. Like, it sounds fun as shit. I'm friends with them. Why would I not do that? I could pick up a video game any day, any week if I wanted to and play it and get what I can from those games. But I can't recreate an experience like sailing to the Bahamas or surviving out in the wilderness or backpacking through Europe. Those are once-in-a-lifetime type deals that are going to stay with you forever. Sure, I can remember a video game, and I can do that whenever. That's stupid to choose that over doing something outdoors and living life. Of course I'd say yes to that. I'd say yes to anything. If I'm a guest, a host, you want to come over to my house? Yes, all the way. I'm a yes kind of dude. No dicks, though. Newark 02S, would you be down for coming on next PKA? Reiterating what I just said, yes. You know, if it's proposed, which I doubt it would be if Wings is on, after what he said about me and the things I'm saying back, I'd be fine doing a show with him and acting professional. He wouldn't, though. He's not that kind of person to act that mature and professional. He said he'd hit Syndicate if he saw him in real life, which, bullshit. But the fact that he said that and thought that alone shows how immature this 28-year-old man is anyway. And Syndicate's 19, I think. 20. Just that alone proves I could never probably be on with Wings on there, because I can act professional. Kyle can't, even though he's written him off as a friend. Woody can. But Wings can't reciprocate that to people. And that's the deal. Shadow Zek says, if you look at YouTube from a business point of view, do you think Kyle and Woody ever think the shit he's saying, the lies he's telling, and the blatant lack of effort is bringing us down and affecting us in a bad way? Well, with the exception of Lefty, and Kyle has, youtube.com/FPS Kyle. With the exception of Lefty, Kyle uploads sometimes, and Wings' channel, they're the only ones that do YouTube/Twitch full time. So I don't think that conversation has ever come up. I don't think they've ever said, Wings is ruining our sponsorships. They don't want to advertise with us. Though he might there might have been a discussion, like it was brought up on the survival trip. Hey, because we have wings here, we can't have Syndicate, we can't have this person. Maybe that was brought up, but I don't think they've ever sat around and said, the shit he's saying, the lies he's telling is ruining our show. I don't think so. It's ruining Wings. That's what it's ruining. It's ruining his career and him, and that's how shit works. You said it, you pay the toll. Do you think he should leave PKA? Yeah. And I don't care who takes the fourth spot, if they even want a fourth spot or just rotate through people. But saying what I did earlier about do you think the guys were tough on Wings thing? Not in a friendly friendship circle environment. The reason he was butthurt, he doesn't look at them as friends, so it looked like they were really attacking him. If you're not friends with anyone, I stand by this in anything. If you're working on a project together, get out. It's not good for any party here. No one is 100% having fun. There's still, this motherfucker did this to me, or he said this. Did you know he said this? You got to make sure you don't bring anything up related to that, or he's going to go off on you. There's always something in the back there. I think he should leave PKA, yeah, because he's openly said not friends with anyone, and they've, at least two of them, Woody and Kyle, have said not friends with him anymore, supposedly. So yeah, if you're not friends anymore, why are you still doing the show? What ulterior motives do you have, Wings? If you're not friends with these guys anymore, and you feel you're being picked on, then let me ask you, what is your ulterior motive for doing PKA? Is it so you can rip it and upload it to your channel exclusively for the views? I'm just asking the question. You guys can interpret it as you want. But if he's not friends with any of them, doesn't get along with a lot of them, feels he's being picked on in a hostile environment, why is he still there? Why? Get the fuck out if it's not fun for you anymore. You know? Paintball Kitty says, where's my coffee? It's right here. It was delicious. Spencer Will, and I'm trying not to do this without any cuts, so my apologies if I'm getting dry. This is super long. I took a majority of the questions, a lot of things I also answered in text. Anything I don't answer now, I'll answer later in text, or maybe I'll do a follow-up video. Probably not, though. I upload once every 4 months, so. Spencer Will, would you and Lefty ever consider combining That's Not What You Called, which is mine and Lefty's podcast, and PKA into one mega podcast if Wing stops being a host? I'd openly consider it, because that'd be cool, but essentially that just means canceling That's Not What You Call, and I'd be the fourth host pretty much, because Lefty's on both. There's 2 on PK and 1 on, you know what I mean? I would just take the 4th slot and then we cancel That's Not What You Call. I'm open to whatever, but I really don't think that would happen. They're 2 different shows completely. Like, PKA talks about a lot of silly stuff. I love it. I love doing the show, but they talk about a lot of silly stuff. There's funny questions posted, stuff like that. That's Not What You Called. We talk a lot about, I don't know, science and current events and like really in the news type stuff, or Twitch. You know, they're 2 different shows. They really are. And one is 1.5 to 2 hours, and the other one is 3.5 hours to 420 hours. No pun intended. That's not a pun. 420 thing. It's not a pun. They're 2 different shows. I don't think that would ever happen. Even if they made me the 4th host, it would be That's Not What You Called, me and Lefty, and then we'd just walk over on Friday to PK. That's how it would work. But I don't think Wings is going to leave PK, and I don't think he'll be removed. Lamar, what do you think about Kitty laying it down to Wings? I mean, Wings was kind of an ass about how much money they spent on him for the boot camp. Good on Kitty. Good on Kitty. You know, Wings was a dick during the boot camp. So unappreciative, you know? And no one remembers. I said unappreciative. Everyone's going to flash back to when he cried and said, I can't thank them enough. But that nullifies everything bad he did before. He would have left during one of those nights. He was out the door almost. He was talked out of it. He was going to leave. That one makes me mad too. I'd love to do the boot camp, man. Me and Lefty go over there, have a good time with Kyle Kitty. But he's just so unappreciative and shits on the people that have helped him the most in his life. Good on Kitty for sticking it to him. And good on Kitty for showing how much of a struggle her life is compared to Wings' life, okay? And how her spirit and attitude is miles ahead of where Wings is. Good on Kitty. That's what I think about that. Put him in his place. That's the thing. Wings needs a reality check, man. He just Lamar. I think I answered a question by Lamar. What do you think? Oh, I just answered that. That's why. God. Schnauts. I think I pronounced it right. SCHNOUTTZ. Schnauts. Schnauts. Hey, Chiz, what do you think Wings could/should do at this point to recover from this backlash? If you were suddenly Wings at this moment, what would you do? Thanks. He doesn't have to recover. This will blow over like it always does. He will say, I'm super depressed. You people don't understand me, which is a cop-out at this point. I'm sorry. That's his go-to move for everything. I'm depressed. And I said this to Woody months ago when we had a user on Woodycraft mouthing off, hating on people and stuff. And I'm like, he says he's depressed. That's not what depressed people do. Depressed people exclude themselves from everything else. They're introvert during that phase. They're watching movies or playing games. They're not on streams talking mad shit about their closest friends, causing a ruckus, talking shit on forums. Is that the new version of depressed where you just attack everything? That's called being an asshole and lashing out. That's not depression, okay? So his depression cop-out, I'm sure he is depressed, but it's cop-out at this point, and all it does is grab everyone's sympathy cards out of their wallets. Like, oh, forget all of the heinous shit he did. He's depressed. Guess what? I bet at least 70% of you listening are either depressed now or have been at a period in your life. Does that nullify? Did you act like Wings does? Do you? Look at yourself. Were you a heinous asshole to all of your closest friends during depression, or did you just not talk to them for a while and just watch all of House of Cards? Seriously, because it's it's insulting to generalize depression like that. Like, oh, depressed people are fucking assholes, man. He just hated on every friend he's ever had on stream. He doesn't give a fuck. You know, you're taking something away from true depression, which everyone else on PKA and myself have been through. That's not right, you know? So I think he'll recover. Yeah, it'll recover because it'll blow over. He'll say he lost 5 pounds, even though he probably didn't, because he supposedly lost 18 1 month, but then gained 9 back. But it was 9 pounds onto the 18 he lost, not 9 pounds. It's always something. He will say something to grab a sympathy card, and everyone will forgive him and forget about this. And it's unfortunate that everyone has such short-term memories. They don't call him on his crap. Some things just need to be remembered, you know? Forgive, but don't forget. I wouldn't forgive. But if I was Wings at this moment, what would I do? I don't know. Because if I was Wings at this moment, I would fucking hate myself. I seriously would. I couldn't picture being Wings right now and saying the things he said and doing the things he did. I would hate myself. That's the honest truth. My Bear Shibler says, put yourself in Woody's and Kyle's shoes. You actually just needed Woody and Kyle's shoes. Would you continue working with Wings once you get back from the trip? Would you try and help him with counseling/therapy, or would you just sever the bond and part ways? Well, he wants me to answer in Woody and Kyle's shoes, so I'm going to try and answer like they would. They would not try to get him counseling and therapy because the man does not want counseling and therapy. He's openly said that numerous times. You can't force someone to get counseling and therapy, and there's no interventions for depressed sociopathic assholes, at least that I know of, besides prison. That's a good place to have an intervention if you're off the cuff or an insane asylum. But no, they wouldn't try to get him help. You have to want help in the first place. He doesn't want it. He said he doesn't want therapy, even though he heavily needs it. So no, they wouldn't do that. And would they keep working with Wings? A mansion for them? Yeah, they'll keep working with him. I think he'll still be on the show. I think that. But the bonds will be severed. They'll still work with him. They won't try to get him help. He doesn't want help. My answers: no, I wouldn't fucking work with him ever again. The bonds have been severed, and I wouldn't try to get him help because he's an asshole who shits on everyone and he doesn't want help. And you can't help someone who doesn't want help. It's just wasted time and energy. Goodman, a mod on the PKA subreddit, says, as a mod, I'm very interested in hearing your opinions on how we've handled the subreddit during this period of time. We rarely get feedback, and it would be nice to know how you think we've done well, or how we could improve. It's been a difficult 72 hours with things happening very fast, so I'm wondering if there's things we should consider for future drama scenarios. Honestly, I think they've done a great job, because Joe Lozon made a post on there, and I agreed with it completely, and I thought it was funny. But it did break a rule. So they edited it, and I think Joe deleted it or edited it himself. It's a rule, so they enforced the rules. They didn't make an exception for Joe, even though he's awesome. They enforced the rules. And as far as I've seen, they've been destroying threads and comments that are really attacking Wings, and telling him to kill himself, posting personal information, things like that. But other than that, they're open to everything. You know, my Q&A thing went up there. Kyle's post went up there with all the replies. People are saying pretty much whatever they want, as long as they're not really viciously attacking a host. And I think it's been handled great. Yeah, I think you couldn't have done a better job, because you got rid of the really bad stuff, enforced your rules, like you said, no special exemptions, and you didn't enforce censorship, which sometimes people do at inappropriate times. Some people would have deleted every single thread or bad remark about Wings, and that would have pissed everyone off. So there's a fine balance there between pissing off people and giving them too much rope to hang themselves with. So I think Godman, I think you did a good job. I think y'all did a good job, and I appreciate what you do. I am Kako, or Coco says, hey Chiz, what kind of consequences do you think this whole fiasco will have on Wings' channel? How long do you think until everyone forgets about this? Also, what do you think will happen to PKA? Thanks for taking the time to answer if you do, and sorry for any repeat questions. What kind of consequences do I think the whole fiasco will have on Wings? Well, he said and admitted none of them are Canadian. None of them are his friends. They've reciprocated. I don't know where Lefty really stands. And if he ever said anything personally, I wouldn't share it with you guys. Sorry. So friendships have been lost. That's a consequence. He's obviously going to lose subscribers, which he's basically said he doesn't care that much. He's like, I'll probably lose. It's like a game to him. I'll lose around 2,400 subscribers, which amounts to 600 video views a day. I got to figure out something to do before those guys get back from their trip. He said that, It's like a game to him. He doesn't give a fuck about what he said, So those are the consequences. He's not getting thrown off the show. He's not leaving the show, although I think he should. If he's not friends with any of them, it's just stupid. How long do I think until everyone forgets this? What is it now? Mid-April? First or second week of May, this will be completely gone. No one will be talking about it. Unless he actually does, by some miracle, get removed from the show, which I really don't see. I don't put my money down on that at all. But if by some miracle he's removed from the show, it might be the talk of the town until June or something like that. But if they have the show this week, talk about it, it blows over after that. By first week of May, second week, you won't really hear anything about it anymore. And I've reiterated it so many times, which is the problem. I feel like some of this shit, why dwell on the drama? It's not the drama. It's just everyone forgets everything bad he's ever done, every lie he's ever told, which he lies 100 times a PKA or something. You guys might not see it, but we do. It's just ridiculous, and not enough bullshit gets called on him. It's just unacceptable. I listen to so many podcasts, and none of the hosts just make up shit on a consistent basis, lie, or talk shit about the other hosts behind their backs on a public forum, like a live stream with thousands of people. It's unacceptable how this 28-year-old man condones himself with simple human interactions and relationships. It's ridiculous and absurd. I went on a tangent right there. I gotta save that for the next section. What do I think happened on the next? Also, what do you think will happen to PK? It'll keep going with the same 4 hosts. And thank you. Well, that's it for the Q&A thing, guys. I think that's all the questions. If I have any more, I will keep replying to them via text. I'm going to go ahead and transition to my rant section, which I kind of already threw into this with every question, but I'll just kind of sum it all up at the end there. Yeah, if you don't want to watch it, don't. I'm going to let a lot of bias in. And we're back. Man, that was a really long section, but I tried to take everyone's questions. A lot of them I also answered via text, and I'll keep doing that throughout the course of the day, and whatever comment are left on the subreddit where I post this video. Probably turn ratings off, by the way, if you're watching this 45 minutes in. But look at that hairline. Fucking bring it, Woody and Lefty. Let's go. Knife fight outside back alley. So I'm just going to generalize everything together right now. This is my biased as fuck discussion time about some things. So the things Wink, I might reiterate some stuff, but the things Wink said about me are just so fucking absurd. That I'm a backstabbing guy who was supposed to be his friend and wasn't. And I guess he got the backstabbing concept from what I said on the subreddit on Sunday, which never said he wasn't my friend. I guess I'm backstabbing because I didn't agree with him blindly 100% with his stupid actions about fucking over his friends and not giving them notice, even though he made up his mind a day beforehand. That makes me a backstabbing friend for not blindly agreeing with him. That's the same mentality he's thrown to you guys. He's straight up said, you guys don't support me. All of the nice things you guys write in the subreddit, you know, you write these 12 paragraph things long, bold, formatted nicely for him to read, inspirational speeches and poems and things, and you give him support in his streams, his YouTube videos, his Facebook posts, everything. You give him all that, and he'll look you in the eye, spit, and say, you're not supporting me at all. If you were really supporting me, you'd watch every single fucking video in my Dragon Age series. That's what he'll honestly say. And that's what he said. He said, you're not supporting me. No one's supporting me. If they did, they'd watch my Dragon Age videos. Look at the videos on King of Cox. They're like 30,000 or whatever. And my fire starting videos get like double that. Dragon Age, 4,000. That's not what he thinks. He doesn't know that there's a difference between supporting someone emotionally and just as a human being and financially, which that's how he's looking at you people, and you just don't see it. That he only gives a shit about that. All he gives a shit about. You're not hitting the play button on his playlist and going off to school and supporting him with that one free view every day. You're not supporting Wings of Redemption. I don't give a fuck if you wrote a novel on the subreddit. He ain't gonna read it. Not gonna read it, and he's not gonna care. Has anyone, I propose this, has anyone out there who's written one of those really long, 1 paragraph, 30 paragraphs, I don't care. Have any of you gotten a thank you or a generous reply back from Wings? And if there are some out there, how many of you didn't? How many of you out there did that and didn't get a reply? I bet the odds are pretty fucking good no one got a reply, or it's astronomically small, because he doesn't care. Me, Woody, Kyle, Lefty, any of us, we would say something. We would actually read it, first of all, and reply to it, you know? But the only person who gets those type of things on the subreddit is Wings, and now Lefty, which is cool. But, like, you know, Woody and Kyle don't get that stuff. But that's besides the point. I mean, he just shits on people, and because I didn't blindly agree with what he was saying and doing about the PKA survival trip last minute, I get thrown under the bus for being a backstabbing friend for that. And I compared it to you guys because that's what he did. You guys are supporting him. You're not watching his Dragon Age series. Guess what? It's a fucking 4-year-old game. It's not fun to watch you play it. Reality check. No one cares if you play it on bleeding from the fingertips, hard difficulty. People watch Let's Plays for entertainment. If you don't bring that, they don't watch it. If you want to go for skill or any of that, start doing achievement guides, proper walkthroughs with tips and tricks, or fucking speedrun. I'm sorry. People watch Let's Plays in this day and in the day and age of everyone having a capture card now built into their machines. They watch for entertainment, and you're not funny. I'm sorry. You've admitted it, so I'm not really saying anything mean. So just get the reality check. That's why they're not watching Dragon Age. Not because they don't care about you. It's because they can't stand to watch a 5-year-old game with someone playing it that isn't entertaining. You know, maybe I'm going off topic here. Maybe I should just focus on what he said about me. And then Chiz doesn't like me, which I've never said until he said the things he said about me. Did you follow that? Yeah. Which I've never said anything like that. He's always been a friend of mine, even if we don't talk in months at a time. He's still cool. I still back him. Not anymore. The reason Chiz doesn't like me is because I told him how I felt. He didn't tell me jack. Just making up more lies. Don't make yourself look stupid. There are plenty of people that know the facts. You know, like I said earlier, if you weren't cool with me, I wouldn't have been on PKA all those times. If you weren't cool with me, you wouldn't ask for advice and depression support and all of this jazz. If you weren't cool with me, why are you still following me on Twitter? And you get alerts on your phone if somebody who follows you tweets you. If I tweeted him right now, he'd get it on his phone because he still follows me. Yeah. I'm the backstabbing friend who was told how the friend felt. Right. It's not you. You're not the backstabber. The irony. You're not the backstabber in this. You, who literally at the drop of a hat and people driving away talks mad shit on like the only 4 people that have ever backed you in any situation. Who else has had your back? It's fucking depressing how you act. Really, I'm just disappointed that you think you're ever in the right when you're clearly in the wrong. Utterly in the wrong. Deer in the headlights. Fucking wrong situation wrong. Just... he thinks he's right. Thinks he's right. Hell, his video alone turned ratings off and comments. Don't know how it was took. But a lot of people, because how he came off, very monotone in his video and surreal, like, you know, I was getting picked on in that last PKA, and that solidified things. Didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. I was being picked on. My self-esteem was wrecked. Didn't want to go. All right, why didn't you tell anybody until they texted you night of the thing? That's the thing I'm pissed about. You're an asshole casserole. Like I said, strangers, friends, family, I don't care. Be a decent human being and let somebody know you're not coming. And he said, you know, I could have just not shown up. That would have been worse. I gave you some notice. They had to reach out to him, and the notice was, I'm not going, while people are already traveling to this location during that conversation. Real notice, even though you made up your mind. Apparently Friday, because of all the hate you got. Hate. And then you said you made it up on Saturday, and then you don't find out until Sunday, because you didn't want to be talked out of it. Because you're that weak of a man. I know you are. You've clearly shown it in your behavior. But you're that weak that you're afraid to be talked back into this thing, that you fucked over 2 people. It's just ridiculous how you can look at yourself in the mirror. How can any of you guys back him right now? Do you love the silly shit he says? All right, fine. He's a prop. That's what he is. He's a prop. He says funny things. You rub the clown's tummy. He makes balloon animals. He's not a good human being. He treats his subs like shit. Always has. The people who donated money to the boot camp get fucking crapped on. The subscribers that donate money to him on a monthly subscription to his Twitch channel fucking get banned without even batting an eye, going through bans and bans, and people ask questions about the PKA. Basically, if you talk in his Twitch thing, he's banning people, and that was on fucking Saturday morning. How can anyone be in his corner right now? Like, I get if you feel bad for him, but don't. He's a piece of shit. Can you really side with him? Please, make an argument for why he's such a great guy. He has such a bad track record, and that's the big thing I kept hammering in all damn video, was he does a little tiny thing to take it away. I'm on my weight thing again. I lost 1.2 pounds today, 1.2 pounds that day. It's called water weight, first of all, but he does that, and it's like, oh, yay, Wings, you're so amazing. It's great to see you back on track. He's not back on track. He's not working out. He's not doing any of that stuff. He'll never get his diet in check unless there's somebody there with him. He's proven that. 2 months without working out. That's some self-discipline for you right there. He's going to die in his trailer, not going outside. He says 1 minute he has cabin fever, and the walls are closing in, and I just wish I could get out of this fucking room. I just sit here all day. I'm going to die here. And then he's afraid to go anywhere. He's afraid to go. He's got a lifetime opportunity to go on this trip. Craps on the people last minute, doesn't go. You know, doesn't want to go paintballing. doesn't want to do this. You come to Wings if you want to do something. How do you have cabin fever, complaining you're going to die in your room and the walls are closing in, and then refuse to step out of your house because you're afraid and have anxiety? Guess what? Everyone has some degree of anxiety. Get the fuck over it, or you're never going to do or amount to anything in your life. I'm sorry. I have horrible anxiety. I've gone to the hospital about it. I still get on the bus, the plane, the train, and do shit because I like to live life. I don't want to die alone in my fucking house. That sounds awful. Because you should know, Wings, you get one trip around life, one trip on Earth. That's it. There is no afterlife. There is no coming back reincarnation. Of all people, you know this is your one shot to make it the best life you have. And you do everything in your power to prevent you ever achieving anything, whether it's weight loss, going out on trips, having fun, doing different YouTube videos that could accelerate your career and get you off the fucking LP train. You do everything and halt the brakes. Pump the brakes. Wait. That sounds hard. Wait, that won't work. Wait, that's bad. Wait, I'm scared. Guess what? Life is scary. You know, I'm wasting my breath, but this is my last thing before we're just done, because I don't care anymore. And maybe the other guys have known you longer. I've known you since 2010. Maybe it's just because they've known you for that extra year or two that they can put up with that kind of stuff and give you 500 second chances. But no, not many people would. You got some great guys over there. Like, I honestly put that question out to anyone on the subreddit. Would you keep Wings of Redemption? Pretend he's not famous on YouTube. Pretend this is just a guy that goes to your school or is a coworker. Would you want to talk to that guy down the hall? Would you? Honestly, would you? Because you feel bad for him? All right, so it's a big, depressed guy alone. You feel bad, you want to talk to him. You talk to him, you find out the things he's done, the lies he's telling in front of your face and getting them mixed up with lies he told somebody else earlier. Really? That's Wings of Redemption. Represented North America. Went over to South Korea. Professional StarCraft player. However, never seen an Asian until like age 14. Didn't think they existed until he saw one, but went to StarCraft tournament in South Korea and thought he needed a passport to go to Chicago. How? How can anyone back him? I want a legitimate argument. Don't just say, if you're a fanboy, that can be your argument too. Just say, I'm a Wings of Redemption fanboy. At least that's honest. You know? I don't know what leg there is to stand on for him. He's literally, this is probably the 20th time he's shat on everyone on PKA saying, they're not my friends. I know for a fact they're the only true people that care about you in this community. You say they're not your friends, you've said it enough times where it's true, motherfucker. Because I know what goes on, and they're the only ones that give you the time of day, that care. And they're tired of giving pep talks. I'm tired of giving pep talks. The subs get shit on. You guys get shit on. And some of you may turn away from Wings, and some of you may just support him to the end. At least you're sticking to your guns, I guess. But not me and Wings. We're done. And I'm so done. Even if it wasn't just him shitting on me, I'd be done with him, really. It's hopeless. He doesn't want help. All of his friends pep him up, give him ideas, do this, do that. He doesn't want to do any of it. He needs serious medical help. Doesn't want to take it. He doesn't want any help, but he wants his entire life to change. It's not magic. You're Mr. Science. You're Carl Sagan over there with a painting hanging in your room. But you want magical things to happen to you with no effort and shitting on every idea. How does that work? How? My mind is blown. And some may just say I'm shitting on Wings. Yeah, I've known the guy for 4 years. You know, I've done a lot of things with him. And I just can see it for what it is, and I know why the other guys are upset too, and Kyle wrote him off recently. And if you can't see that, then you're just blinded by fanboyism, because the things he's done over years have amounted to it just now breaking the camel's back. I'm surprised it's taken this long. And even with all of that combined, I still don't think he'll be removed from the show. He totally should, and he should just leave on his own terms, if anything. Wings, don't pull the fucking card where you say, I brought Kyle and Woody on to PK. PK was my idea. It's my baby. It's my show. Fuck you. I don't care who originated the idea of a podcast. It means jack dick this late in the game, okay? You don't prepare any topics. You don't get questions. You don't do the overlays. You don't get the sponsors. You don't record the show. You don't even upload it originally. You rip it from Woody and upload it. And sometimes you're surfing the web, you're playing a video game, you're watching a video while conversations are going on in front of you. It's not your show. It hasn't been for years. There have been shows where you've done them solo and they have been bad. And sadly, I've been on one of them before. You can't do it alone. I'd like to see you try. Because you don't have, like you've said about yourself plenty of times, you're not entertaining enough to hold it by yourself. You need people to play off of. And that's the honest to God truth. You know, it's not your show. It's not your show. I don't give a fuck who came up with the idea. It's an idea. Who's executing on it? I ask you that question. Who? Is it Woody? Well, Woody takes care of it. Why don't you step up to the plate? Why not do a backup recording? Why not get some damn topics together? I'm not even a part of the show, and I've given topics to Woody before. Lists of them for weeks. Just because I thought it'd be cool to hear them talk about it. And I'm also helping a friend out. Does Wings do any of that? No. No. And he's not friends with any of them. You know? He's not friend. I can't get over the fact he's not friends with any of them. They're not friends with him. He says he's not funny. They hurt his feelings, and he feels like it's a hostile environment. Why the fuck are you still here? Why? Why are you still on PK? I want the answer. Do you care about the fans? No, you don't. You've shown that you don't care time and time again. By going on a banning spree on Twitch, by mouthing off on the subreddit, how you respond in your YouTube videos. You don't care. You never have. Why are you there? You can be honest. Say it's because you like the views. Say that the only thing keeping you alive and still relevant to this community is PKA. You could say it. Be honest with yourself. For once in your life, be honest with yourself. Because it's the truth. It's the only reason why. And it wouldn't kill yourself to tell the truth just once. Well, I've ranted and raved enough. I think this is like an hour-long video now. But that's where I stand on the whole Wings thing. That's you know, I don't give a shit if you dislike this video. I don't do YouTube anymore. But if you dislike it, at least give me a reason why. You know, state your case and your claim. Be like, you know, I think Wings is in the right because I can't even finish that example because nothing comes to mind on how he's in the right in any of this. You know, he did the canceling last minute thing. People are like, well, why does it matter if he canceled last minute? He canceled last minute knowing he had made up his mind 24 to 48 hours prior and didn't even reach out to tell them. That's a shitty thing to do. I'm done. I'll keep answering questions in the subreddit post I made. Or no, fuck that. That thing's going to be old. I'll answer questions below in this one. I don't know. If there's enough responses in once, I'll make a reply video with more questions answered. But I think I've said all I've had to say. Wing shat on me because he was upset I didn't blindly side with him. Just like he's upset that he has no supporters because no one's watching his Dragon Age series. Just put the dots together, guys. I mean, think of everything bad he's done. He's not a good person. He's toxic. Does he really care? Does he? No, doesn't. Anyway, that's it. Why?